Hey again, it's just that guy with some thoughts. Today we're going to have some thoughts on voting laws. These are short videos designed to help everyone figure out what the different opinions that we're being blasted with in the media are about various topics of the day, and today it's voting laws. I posted an earlier video with the highly controversial topic of chocolate chip cookies just to show you how we're going to do this. So there's a lot of media coverage these days on voter rights and voting laws. They tell you that a law is taking away your rights, and voting laws or a law that's unfairly discriminating against minorities or the poor or the disabled. There's a lot of rhetoric being thrown at us about this. The ACLU says there is an ongoing strategy to roll back decades of progress on voting rights. The president harkens back to Jim Crow laws. The Brennan Center for Justice says some states have aggressively pushed to restrict voting access and succeeded. And we'll have a graph to show you on that. These are from some sources I just Googled. You can use your own search engine, do your own searching, and then decide for yourself what you think once you find some facts rather than just opinion and rhetoric. Remember, we need to know the what and the why of it, what the laws are talking about, and why people are saying they are bad. Can we agree on a couple of basic premises? One, can we agree that our government works best if the most possible eligible voters actually vote and that all of the ballots are accurately counted? And can we also agree that to achieve this end, we have to balance our laws between getting the most ballots out to people and controlling who submits those ballots so that only eligible votes are counted? Assuming that, then, let's go on. There's far too many laws to discuss in our short time on this video. The Brennan Center says 19 states passed restrictive laws last year. 9 more states have some 88 bills carried over to this year. Another source says there were 25 states last year that passed some 62 laws to expand voter access. But for today, let's just look at 3 things. 1, voter registration. 2, absentee ballots. And 3, ballot counting. In voter registration, most of the debate is what identification a voter must present at the polling place to get a ballot to vote. Some states require a photo ID. Some all are part of a Social Security number. Some another form of ID. And some states even just require that you bring your utility bill or a bank statement or something else that shows your name and your address so that the people at the polling place are content to give you a ballot. Now, we get down to the facts. If the law you're thinking about says that in order to vote, you must present an identification with your picture on it, you have a fact. Of course, you can always consider the opinion of others. The ACLU says photo ID laws discriminate against the low-income, racial, and ethnic minorities and people with disabilities. But you still may want to find out what that is based on and then decide the accuracy of somebody else's opinion before you formulate yours. Let's talk about absentee ballots for a minute. There's a tremendous hue and cry about these. Who can get one? How do you get one? Can or should the clerk send them out automatically? And many more such issues. And once you see what those issues are in a particular legislation, you need to see if that law also has provisions for when and where you can cast an absentee ballot and when it will be counted, because that's all part of the process. And that then brings us to ballot counting. Much of the talk on voter rights is about when you can vote and which votes will be counted. look at whatever law you're thinking about and see the requirements. Are the polls open longer? Can you vote early? Are there only certain places where an absentee ballot can be dropped off? If it's mailed, can it be counted after the day of the election? All of those things are what you need to find out in a particular law that somebody says is not good or restrictive, to make sure that you understand whether you think it's restricting voter rights or not. But now there's a 500-pound canary in the room that we haven't talked about, the federal government. It wants to chirp out laws to make everything the same for everybody. Or maybe you think that it wants something coming out the other end on everybody. It depends on how you look at it. In 2021, the very first bill in the House of Representatives, H.R. 1, says it expands voter access to the ballot box. You have to look at the bill itself or what it provides in order to decide for yourself. Don't just accept somebody else's opinion or statements about it. Just because it says it expands voter access doesn't mean it does, and it doesn't mean that's a good thing. You have to determine. And then you have to determine whether you want the federal government to control things in your state as well. Oh, and H.R. 1 is 398 pages long, so good luck getting down to the facts there. Some choice bits of it are: it requires internet for voter registration. It prohibits states from requiring more than the last 4 digits of your Social Security number. It has automatic registration. It allows school kids to register, and much, much more. So, hey, get the facts, think about it, and then decide for yourself. And remember, you're entitled to your opinion, I'm entitled to my opinion, and de gustibus non est disputandum. Talk soon again with more of some thoughts.